All right, a 12-year-old named Jaiden from Colorado Springs was told he could not wear his backpack at his school because, oh no, it had the Gadsden flag patch on it. And that is, well, listen, because these teachers say that has ties to slavery, so it's not allowed. Watch.
Oh, here, go on. Thank you. Do they know what the Gadsden flag is? That it's a historical flag?
So the reason that they do not want the flag, the reason we do not want the flag displayed is due to its origins with slavery and
with slavery. Its origins with slavery.
He doesn't take it off.
He is able to go. I was actually just telling him, like, I was upset that he was missing so much school. I'm like, so I asked if can he just take his stuff out of his bag and go back to class. Like, I just want him to go back to class. The bag can't go back. It's got the patch on it because we can't have that in and around other kids.
It has nothing to do with slavery. That's like the Revolutionary War patch that was displayed when they were fighting the British. Like that's the revolution. Maybe you're thinking of like the Confederate flag.
Okay, I am just here to enforce. No, I am here to enforce the policy that was provided by the district.
The Gadsden flag, due to its origins of being
rooted in
to
slavery, of course.
I'm here to enforce the policy that's rewriting the truth.
Its origin
that deems
slavery.
all things right and Christian racist.
Right.
The only tie between the Gadsden flag and racism is that they happened concurrently, but it was not tied into it. I mean, there was a Gadsden flag when there was slavery. That's your deal? I mean, how are you tying that in? It had nothing to do with it.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that she clearly used the word origins.
Correct.
Yeah.
So she's saying it originated
birthed because of
slavery, which is completely inaccurate.
Yes, an absolute lie.
It was, of course, the American Revolution, and I mean Ben Franklin. This was his brainchild. Who, boy, he was sure pro-slavery, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Except
Except not at all.
How does somebody like that continue to teach in our public schools when they're so clearly clueless and
because she's
ignorant?
a puppet, Pat. She fits the profile that they hire.
Yeah.
How embarrassing.
Oh, man.
How embarrassing. So I want to read
She can draw circles, though.
Yeah, she says, I'm like, what is this? Is this what you do when you're lying and you're trying to make it look like you're telling the truth?
I thought she was swimming.
Well, she was drowning in that interview, to be fair, or in that video. So I want to show you guys the email exchange between the school director and the parent here of 12-year-old Jaiden. So the school director did say, as discussed, this is Jeff Yoakum, who said, as discussed, I am providing you the rationale for determining the Gadsden flag is considered an unacceptable symbol. And he, of course, lists a Washington Post article. He said it's tied to the Confederate flag and other white supremacy groups.
No, it isn't.
Including Patriot groups. Oh, yes, Pat, it is. And there was a decision. Tied to hate groups, he uses the conversation.com article link. And then he says, well, the Navy in 2016 decided to not fly or wear the Gadsden flag too. So therefore, it is tied to slavery, I guess. To which the mom, I've been in contact with her, Jaiden's mom responded with some pretty awesome backup here. So she wrote back, respectfully, everything can be considered racist and tied to white supremacy. It's sad because when everything becomes racist, then nothing is. When we actually need to cry racism and oppression and it's actually happening, no one will take it seriously. And she has this list of, you want to play the links game? You want to play the articles game? Here you go. Is water racist? And here's a link. Is air racist? What about there's math? Here's math. Math is racist. TheAtlantic.com article, ScientificAmerican.com article. Roads. We know roads are racist because Pete Buttigieg told us so. What about air? What about food? What about church? What about, she just lists all of these links.
That's great.
Wow. The American flag group is used by hate groups. The American flag is used by hate groups. Got to get rid of that on campus too. What a doozy. We will see you tomorrow. And before I realized this, I was in contact with her. I decided to send an email to Jeff Yoakum myself, and I asked him, I told him we were covering this video that emerged, and I asked him if he had any clarifications he would like to make on the historical inaccuracy. I asked him, will you extend that policy to such things as not being allowed to use the OK sign? Because, white supremacists have actually used that before, so you shouldn't be allowed to use that. Or not allowing families to go to school if they have ever driven on a highway, given the highway's ties to the Autobahn, which, of course, was constructed by Hitler. How far will your draconian policy go? A response before 3:15 p.m. Central today would be much appreciated. I'm sure you guys will be shocked to hear I did not receive a response.
Stunning.
Yep, because the cowards will run for the hills. Man, again, so proud of you. Look, to that mom, I say fight, and then get your kid the heck out of that indoctrination camp. Where's Eric July when you need him? Cancel this whole public school system. Let it just be decimated, because it's infiltrated with radical Marxist and I mean, Satanist, anti-Americans. The amount of avenues that they're using to attack children today is insane. You got to have eyes behind the back of your head. This kid's dad's got to be a champ, though, for putting that patch on his kid's backpack. I mean, I don't know. I just get out of public school if you can.
So I would just, and I didn't realize that we were going to air the blurring out his face, because his actual face, I'd encourage everyone to go watch it, because I would argue, I don't think it was the dad. I think it was the kid. He reads Tuttle Twins books.
Okay, maybe he did.
Okay, and
even better.
Well, and if you watch the video that is unblurred, he looks at his mom and he kind of smiles whenever they say that it's tied to slavery. Like he's like, these teachers have no idea what they're talking about. He knows more than the teachers. You can clearly tell by the look on his face. I wish that we had that, but I think it was him.
It was him.
Yeah, I think it was him.
The rest on that backpack. This is a cool kid. I like this kid.
Yeah, I like him. He's gonna go far.
You need to get your kids out of public school.
Yeah.
Seriously. If you can, in any way, homeschool your kids, it's just the way to go. 33 years ago, we made the decision to homeschool. Public schools back then were bad, but compared to today, they were like Sunday school. It has gotten so terrible now that I don't know how you allow your kids to go, because it's just too, and I know some people just can't. They don't have, the wherewithal, the time, the ability, but there's so much help available online now if you want to homeschool that if you can find a way, please do it, because they're just being beaten with this propaganda every day.
Plus, they waste so much time, Pat. We homeschool.
Yeah.
And it doesn't take much for your child to actually jump a whole grade ahead. Like I'm talking about, just leave the rest behind.
Yeah.
Because they waste an enormous amount of time.
One of the big arguments against that is, what about the social aspect? Yeah, it's one of the great reasons not to go to public school.
Exactly. I know.
Yes, I curate the social aspect.
Right.
And my kids have plenty social aspect with equally yoked folks.
Right. Yeah, I know. I love that one too. It's like, I don't want my kids having anything to do with public school children. Yeah, you're right. Exactly right.
Wow.
Please get to Yaku's point. Our homeschooling was like an hour and a half, an hour.
It's
mornings.
unbelievable. Yeah.
Get it? Knock it out.
One attention. It goes fast.
Yep.
And then they can learn about life. They can travel with us. They can have exposure to other elements of social engagement in a godly way. And,
how about cook your own lunch? Right? Cook your own lunch today, and that's cooking 100%. Class.
Right.
I mean, I think there really are valuable lessons that they're missing out on. But don't worry, they're getting taught about anal sex. So that's great.
There's that.
That's awesome.
What a trait.
All right.
Lesson versus.
Right.
Well, if the parents aren't teaching it, then who's gonna teach them about anal sex?
That's a great point.
Yeah.
That's a great point, Pat. They do need to know.
They do.
If you like that clip, there is plenty more where that came from. Click the link in the description below to subscribe to the News and Why It Matters YouTube channel to watch the full episode.